Welcome back, everybody.
Yay.
In our last time we saw our heroes, we were in the Rose Coast. We had tied up some loose ends from the carnival and uh, spent the day uh, learning some stuff and spent the next day doing some shopping. We last left our heroes after a bit of a shopping spree. uh, Professor's got Jeffrey back, which was a nice surprise. And uh,
No one is concerned about how this has happened.
Nope, not at all. No
Nope,
need, no need to be concerned.
definitely not concerned.
And Noriko has outfitted the Corvus with two chase cannons, so a little bit of defense out on the seas should it be needed. Um, yeah, that's about where we're at. So
This is
it will
just his
take.
way of getting us to spend our money on stuff we don't need. Look, Narco, I've got you cannons
I'm
here.
not saying you don't need it.
That our boat gets stolen.
Well, that's the thing. Naruto is going to be spending free time making shit. If there aren't any magic items on the docket, then it's going to default to more gunpowder. That's just what's going to happen.
Amazing. Is Narco paranoid?
No, but I've mentioned before that she's had
Cautious.
a couple of moments where it's like, if I just had one cannon, I could solve so many larger scale problems.
She's not
That's
paranoid. She's prepared.
accurate. It's not paranoia if you're right.
You see, the difference between me and the crazy person on the street is I'm right when I say that there are evil forces out to get me specifically.
Yeah. I'm sorry, who amongst us has had an attempted kidnapping go on? Oh, just the two of us. I guess we're the ones who are correct when we say that there's a kidnapping happening.
At any rate, so it will take a full day for those cannons to be installed. So it is currently the 22nd of Thursday, the 22nd, despite what the splash screen is currently displaying. I kind of displayed that assuming that we'd be moving on to the next day, but you do still have all of the rest of the day to do whatever it is you like. So you do have about a day of downtime. If there's anything that you would like to do whilst you are still here in the Rose Coast, otherwise, uh, the next day will come without much of an issue, and you can prepare to sail off to wherever it is you guys would like to go next. So I will go ahead and drop you back at the Rose Coast, and you tell me what would you like to do?
Um, I know as far as the day of downtime that we still have in Rose Coast, Naruto is going to be spending that starting the work on the magically reinforced baby Bjorns for the newly acquired pets to avoid a repeat of the Jeffrey incident. Um, Aside from that, um, Naruto doesn't have any specific ideas for what else to do at the Rose Coast before we leave, but she would suggest to Ren, since this was kind of Ren's home for a while. He's got friends here and such. Um, Ren is there. We don't know when we might be back around this way. Um, with the missing memory things, it may be a moot point, but is there anything you specifically would like to do or experience with this place before we set off again?
I would like to ensure that my former laboratory is completely cleared out.
Oh, do you need help packing?
No, I believe I can manage it well. And besides, there might be some latent hazardous items in there I'd like to manage myself.
Oh, um, Naruto pulls out the herbalism infused gas masks that had been made for the sewer visit. She says, "Well, we've got these still. Um, I'd be happy to help anyway, if only to learn a few things from you about what you've been working on."
If you are interested in learning, I will not stop you. And Ren will lead the way down to the dungeon so he can clear out any of his former experiments that are still there.
All the mold that was there
Yeah.
on purpose and not because it was left, not because it just didn't have a thing.
Listen, it grew more in his absence, and he's really excited about that.
Adorable. I think if we have a whole day of downtime, Jade is going to ask the professor if he would mind giving her teaching lessons for her to, like he said he would help her learn things, and we have a whole day that we don't have to fight anything or anyone or have evil crows come after us or anything like that. So I think she just got to try to find the professor and see if he would be up for a tutoring session.
Yeah, I think he's probably milling about, just not really doing much of anything. Probably closer to our accommodations, is sort of wandering around streets, just seeing what there is around here before they leave.
Cool. So Jade will find the professor wandering the streets with food and and where probably around Siren's Song, I imagine, is where he's probably at. Seems to be where all the good stuff is. And she'll say, Professor,
Hello, Jade. What can I help you with?
are you busy?
He just sort of pauses and looks around, and then he's like, "No, not really."
Oh, good. I was wondering if maybe Noriko said, well, she got the cannons and they said it was going to take a whole day before we could really leave. I was wondering if maybe you would be up for a class. We could do something
Oh,
that
yeah.
teachers do. I don't know what that is.
Oh. Well, what would you like to learn?
What can you teach?
Well, I can teach anything, really. Anyone can teach anything. The validity of the words that I say cannot be guaranteed, but anything that you want to know, I can bestow upon you from my perspective. Now, if you want to know about the ins and outs of the clergy of Halo, probably not going to be the best person, but I can tell you what I know. But if you want to know about arcane history, or having students respect you even though your peers do not, and he kind of does this, like holds his hands up like Bullwinkle, gesturing like antlers, like he's talking about Ren, and kind of winks, and he's like, "Did you pick anything really? I give you."
Well, I guess history would probably be a good place to start. I know a little bit about some of the more arcane instances that kind of happen not here, because my papa teaches me a lot of that. But most of the history that I know comes from my books, and I don't know how reliable those books are, because a lot of them are from the Bard, and they just eventually some of those ones disappear, and before I can have one of my sisters copy it down. And then the other ones I get, they seem like they're historical, but they also focus a lot on like kind of interpersonal dynamics. So not really a lot of actually like history outside of the person that I'm reading about. So that might be a good place to start, just so that I have a better understanding of things, I suppose.
Joe, do I have any history of any knowledge of the Bard, or have I read any of their works? Or
Give me a history check.
holy 16
Uh,
plus.
yeah, I'd say you've heard of the Bard. The Bard is more of again, kind of a legend, but there is definitely traces of the Bard throughout the world. There will be random books writing scrolls, journals on various extremely random uh, bits of history from throughout the world.
As this sort of like, I guess we could call it them like a folk hero, has there been any like, I would assume that there would be an interest of historians, and are there any like peer reviewed papers on his work? Like, have people actually like cross reference the validity of the things that they put on the page, even as random as they might be?
Yeah, it would seem that some of the stuff that the Bard has left behind has been so obscure or so far in the past that it is hard to find someone who can really give some hard evidence to back up the things that are in the Bard's writings. But there have been a few that have been uh, kind of independently verified. Um, the Bard has been a uh, study of history. It's a bit of a curiosity, really, but uh, there are also some who believe that the Bard is just somebody who's going around, writing these things about history, just kind of making some stuff up, or even pulling, from actual uh, historic legends and lore. So, like I said, the existence and the validity of the Bard is still in question, but the things that have been kind of researched do seem to be more or less verified. Few and far in between as they are.
Okay, so the professor will kind of nod and he'll say, "Yes, I can see where you're coming from. You're getting a lot of your information from a source from their perspective rather than a textbook that is uh, airs a little more on less bias. Although, as obscure as the Bard's work is, they seems to check out as fairly uh, something that can be trustworthy. But if you're looking for verified instances and occurrences throughout history, then I could probably help you out with that."
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I mean, most of the stuff that I have on the Bard is stuff like, the volumes that I have about Thorns of the Black Rose, and there were some other ones that I got one time from, but a different land, and it was about a huge dragon that had come and like destroyed the place, and everyone rose up against him to take the land back. It's more like kind of epic. They seem fantastical, but Papa says that they're true histories. But I don't really have too much of them, and some of the stuff that I do get is not just a little bit, because there's just they're always disappearing.
Right. It's hard to rely on the texts that don't stay in your peripheries for very long. Yeah. I mean, I don't know all of the history of Pelennor. Far from it. I mean, that's why I'm out here is research, and my area of specialty is arcane history. So instances of arcane uh, import are the types of things that I typically look at. But yeah, I can give you whatever you like.
Alright, maybe history would be a good place to start, just so I'll have something more to go on. And maybe writing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I got perfect place for you to start. And he
Okay.
reaches into his coat pocket, which has been fashioned out of his handy haversack, and he starts pulling out like journal after journal, and he just starts handing them to her. And these are just like thick, like 2-inch thick, just like tomes of just completely filled cover to cover in writing. Like, this is perfect. Oh, you're gonna really like the ones in this one. That one was crazy. Look, how about this one? And he'll just sort of gesture her to follow him back to the siren song as he's like giving her these textbooks to start studying from.
Just awkwardly holds her like giant stack of books that she now has, and she's like kind of peeking around the side of them to follow the professor because she doesn't know where to go. No, this is great. Noriko and I read to each other at night, so I mostly read and she works, and then she falls asleep, and then I keep reading aloud because, just in case, sometimes you can have nice dreams when you're hearing stuff. So, this will be great. I can definitely fill my time with this. I can read, so I don't need help with that part.
Well, that's perfect because there's a lot of reading to do if you want to learn about the histories. This one, and she pulls out one that's like only partially filled and just sort of lays it gently on top of the stack, and he sort of pats that one. But this one's still in progress, and I think you'll find it particularly interesting. I know I do, and it's something that I've been working on.
Oh, is this your book that you're writing?
Well, I wrote all of these. These are journals, but they're all going into my textbook. Yes, if I ever get around to transcribing it over into a single volume. Although I think at this rate it's going to be at least be full 5 volumes.
There's a lot of journals here.
He nods.
Maybe I can help you get it put together.
Oh, that would be lovely. I mean, I've had a little bit of help when we were at the Siren Song not too long ago, but that was only one night, and this is going to take several.
Well, I don't really have much else to do at night time, so I can definitely help. Maybe help put things in order, make a timeline, or maybe put things in like little groups of stuff that seems like it would be relevant together.
Oh, that's perfect. I mean, with not sleeping thing. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, great. Okay, that would be lovely. Yeah, let's go. Okay.
You will lead her into a seat in the Siren Song and start spreading out these books for her to choose where to start.
I think she just starts with whatever the journal was you gave her first, because she thinks that's the first one that she has to read. And she'll just very carefully spread them out in order and just start with that one and see how far she gets.
Yes. Perfect. This is a compilation of Mordenkainen's collections, the Codex of Mordenkainen, Cosmogony of Magnetic Fluids, Dark Sides of the Memory, Epic Saga of the Great Conjurers. Oh, this one's my personal favorite, On the Rise of Magecraft and Modernity.
Who's Mordenkainen?
Oh, you don't know about Mordenkainen?
Mm-mm.
Well, I don't want to spoil it because it's very exciting. Start here. And he just opens up one and points to just a random page.
Oh, okay. I'll start there. Should I go backwards or forwards from this part?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go backwards first. And then catch up.
See, the nice thing about this collection is it doesn't matter which way you read it, you get all the information you need, and it just sort of all coagulates into a big gelatinous goo of juicy, delicious information to digest afterwards. It's just, he just lets chef's kiss. Like, this is the creme de la creme of arcane history.
Okay, so you definitely need help with sorting things out then. Okay, I can do that. I can definitely help with that. I'm very good at organizing things from like color and size wise, and all my books at home are sorted in very specific ways depending on the author and title and what it's about.
He nods like, okay.
So yeah, okay, yes, good. I will help you and you can help me, and that will be good friend things to do. And then
good friend things to do. I like it.
Yeah, it's great. Okay. Do you have an empty journal?
Oh,
I only have my binder, and I'm not sure if there's not enough room in the binder for all of this. But I can make notes to know which ones need to be put in what order.
He will slide the empty spell book that he got from the academy when he had initially lost his first spell book. Like,
oh, pretty
perfect.
Yeah, great. Okay. Great. And she will start to read through the journals, and she will very, very, very painstakingly slowly take notes while she reads. And you can tell she's trying to be very careful about the notes she's taking.
He kind of like squints and looks over her shoulder. Like, you're very meticulous, aren't you?
It's hard. It's hard to write if I'm not paying attention.
Well, I once heard someone say something terribly ridiculous, but might be apt for this situation. And they said, practice makes perfect. And there's a lot of practicing to do with all this.
Yeah, it'll be good practice, for sure. It's not that I didn't practice my writing at home. It's just that it's just hard.
You know, you could just, as long as you understand it, that's all that matters. So, I mean, you notate as you see fit in any way that you like. I mean, I'd be more than happy to help you practice writing, but if you have a shorthand or symbols or a method of record keeping that makes sense to you, maybe not other people, by all means use it, because when we look at this, I'm going to be looking to you to provide context, not your notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll take notes in a particular way. So I think that will be fun.
Good. Yeah, don't worry about it. The writing will fall into place.
Okay. And she goes back to very carefully writing. You can see that you can see like as she's writing, and when she doesn't and she's not like paying attention, that the letters stop making sense, and she has to go back and redo that part so that they are actual words.
Are they words to Jade? Like, does Jade understand them, or does she just like sort of her hand stops connecting with her brain and then it just starts making like you're thinking the words and you're not writing the words?
It's more like if she's not actively paying attention, she's not actually her hand disconnects from her brain. So it's not that she can't write, she does not write very well. And if she's not paying attention to the fact that she's writing, she won't write anything down at all. Gotcha. So it's just very, very messy and crooked writing. And it looks like if you were to give like a little kid a crayon to write and say, hey, write your name, and it was the first time they're trying to write their name, that's what her letters look like most of the time, unless she's very, very carefully paying attention.
Gotcha.
But she seems to be enjoying it while going over the books and the notes.
I think the professor is probably also enjoying it. He hasn't really done anything scholarly, or at least entirely scholarly, since they've left. So getting into a rhythm that sort of feels more like home is a comfort.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of pausing and her asking him to explain like words or phrases in his notes that I'm sure he is very well aware of what they mean and she has never heard of before, and then her making like a little flowchart asterisk lines to herself in her notes to say like this is what these things mean. So it looks quite a mess, but she seems to understand what those notes are.
Yeah, I feel like his journals are probably pretty organized chaos.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Very cool. Does anybody else wish to do anything during this period of downtime for the rest of the day? Hi, Ben.
Hello.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Pretty good.
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Currently having a day of downtime. Narco and Ren are packing up Ren's basement And Jade and the professor have taken over a table at Siren Song and are going over his notes from his journals to teach Jade history.
Nice.
Other than that, you guys are kind of free to just spend the rest of the day, however you like. It's probably about it's probably about midday as you guys finish up your shopping and narco contracts for the cannons to be added to the Corvus. So the rest of the evening is yours. Otherwise, you can kind of just hang out. You can hang at the Siren Song for as long as you like. Galadriel will kind of give you your own little private table, your own kind of private table service, uh, food and drinks coming and going all day, and you have your rooms again for the night. So if there's nothing else that you guys have, then the rest of the day will pass at your leisure. You're able to kind of spend the night here once again, and you wake up, get your long rest, feeling nice and refreshed and ready to go.
I think in the morning, just Jade is still with Nuala for most of the evening when she's not with Nariko. So make sure that Nuala doesn't get kidnapped, because it's still a very big fear of hers. I think Jade is going to, if the professor lets her, like, keep one of the journals at a time, and making notes for herself to get that done overnight. And in the morning, when she's finished with the journal, just going to gently, like, touch Nuala's shoulder. Just, Nuala, did you want to sleep in, or did you want breakfast?
Is it breakfast time already?
I smell bacon, so I think it's breakfast.
Oh, I guess I should get up.
I don't know how early it is, but I just wanted to know, because I think Professor's feeling much better about himself and things, so he's probably going to eat most of all the bacon.
All right, I'm getting up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course.
How was your night?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Professor let me keep one of these journals, and I got through almost all of it, and I'm helping him organize his notes for his book that he's going to make, and I'm also learning history while I do that. So it's good.
So reading a lot?
Yeah, a lot of reading. Professor has very fancy handwriting. He's going to make swirly little cues. Look.
He does have very fancy handwriting.
I like it.
I wonder how long he practiced.
I don't know. He must have practiced a real long time, because he said practice makes perfect, and his handwriting's very fancy, and my handwriting is not fancy at all. And I've practiced a lot. So he must have practiced even more. Of course, he is a couple 100 years old.
Well, shall we go get breakfast?
Yeah, let's go get breakfast, and then we'll figure out where we're going to go today.
Okay. And Nuala will get up and head out.
Jade will follow her.
Breakfast is served as usual here in the Siren Song, and as per custom, they are able to make whatever it is you desire. As you all begin to make your way down in the morning, Astrid from behind the bar, as Nariko eventually makes her way downstairs to the common area, Astrid kind of perks up and sees Nariko, and kind of approaches Nariko with a small parcel, and she presents it to you, and she says, a Modron was by this morning and dropped it off. This was addressed to you.
Oh. Narco takes a look at the tag.
It is from your mother, Point Pleasant.
Narco thanks Astrid, and then hurries over to the table so she can unwrap this and see what Mother sent.
All right. I'm going to drop something in your journal, but then I also realized that the text got kind of cut off, so I'm also going to post a link to the Google Doc in your Discord.
Yay!
Yay!
Otherwise, it would have been one of those dramatic, like, oh no, she was cut off writing partway through, but somehow still paid for postage.
So that's in your journal, roll 20, and I am about to send you the link in Discord now.
Isn't it great how in fiction, where so many people wind up like slowly approaching some sort of incoming doom, they have the presence of mind to like whip out their journal and categorize all their thoughts and the history that brought them to this point.
Right?
It's very considerate. All right, Narco will now be deeply studying this letter.
Marco, are you okay?
Oh yes, when I sent Newman off with correspondence, I had him stop by Point Pleasant first to update Mother, and then he was going to head on to Tremonto. So I guess Mother got her letter and then sent this through the regular mail. So I'm just going to see what he has sent here.
Oh, okay. How did everyone else sleep?
I had a peaceful night.
That's good. Did you get all your things packed?
Yes, I believe everything is ready. The dungeon area should be habitable if someone else wishes to take over the space.
Oh, you don't think you'll ever come back?
At this point, I find that I have other responsibilities with all of you that would keep me from returning any time in the future.
Well, time's a long time, though.
Perhaps.
It's always nice to have a place to go back to, isn't it?
Is it?
It makes me feel good to know that no matter what, I can always go home.
Mm.
You know, I
I'm
mean,
not
even though
sure.
I'm out going with you all, and I don't know how long that'll be, and I might live for a real long time out here. It's nice to know that there's another place that's for me.
I'm still not sure what place that would be for me.
Well, maybe you haven't found it yet. That's okay.
Perhaps.
Professor, I'll have your book.
Oh, which one are you working on today?
Purple one?
Purple one. Oh, I like that one. That's Pratchett's theory of phonochromatic resonance.
There's a lot of pictures of like starbursts in it. I did not write those down in my notes.
We can transcribe the pictures later.
Okay. That seemed interesting. I'm definitely going to need your help on explaining these pages, and she'll just show the pages that she has marked with other like smaller pieces of paper in it. There are about 20 smaller pieces of paper tucked into the pages of like little bookmarks that she made that she needs you to help explain things to her on.
Oh, very responsible, not marking in the margins and dog-earing the pages. I like that.
Our books are our friends, and we should not. We definitely should not bend the pages if we can help it.
You know, I think I saw a bookmark with that written on it once.
Really?
He nods.
My sisters would bring me home bookmarks sometimes, but then I always keep them. I would use them for one book and then forget to take them out, and I always just end up using a piece of paper.
Really? You know, back where I come from, about once or twice a year, there would be this big marketplace that would show up in town, and entirely just books and pencils and bookmarks, and it was just this incredible book sale. I think you would like it.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. Once or twice a year. Usually twice. There was a couple times there. The second one got rained out, but nothing stops a scholastic book fair.
That sounds wonderful. I would love to do that.
Canon now.
Do they have posters?
Absolutely have posters.
What about Goosebumps?
Totally a thing now.
Totally a thing now. School book fairs sound like the best kind of fair.
Well, they do have a very, very large school there.
So, since the ship should be ready today, where do we all think we're going to go?
Oh, there's so many options. I really just have to have a look at a map to really think about where the best choice might be next.
Gee, if only we had a page for a map. Oh, wait a minute.
See, we're right here on the Rose Coast, and he pokes at the spot on the map. There's really a number of places going. Naturally, I would think that Summercall would be the logical next step. Do we have a lead on somewhere to go that we should be going, or is it really just dealer's choice at this point?
Well, I think we eventually have to make our way over to Laban Port, because that's where a lot of the clues and things we were getting is kind of pointing for us to go, at least to check it out. But I know Noriko said she wanted to see Summercall too, and now that we're kind of, I hate to say it this way, but since kind of every town we've been going to, there's been something weird happening that we've had to put a stop to. It might be worthwhile to just check and make sure that there's nothing wrong at Summercall.
Nariko starts folding up the letter to put away. She sort of nods and says, my goal is to head to Weyburn Port, but I figured since Summercall was about midway over, we would most likely be stopping there in port anyway, so might as well take a look around, as Jade says, make sure there's no crows flying about or what have you.
Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll just be a regular town.
Has anybody considered perhaps, and he sort of taps the map at the Lost Valley, a place so mysterious that it has no real name as an epicenter of strangeness?
Oh, no, that place has been fine. Grandmama watches that place.
Oh, so you've been?
Yeah. That's where that's where I came here from.
Oh, you're from the Lost Valley, so it's not really lost anymore, is it?
I don't know that it was ever really lost. It is I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anyone, but
Or a secret valley?
kind of a secret, yeah.
Or a hidden valley?
Yeah, it's mostly, I mean, I guess it's not really lost because, if you go around it, you can see that there's something there. But you just can't get into it unless you know the way in.
What do you call it from where you are? Like when you're there, you don't say, "Oh, I'm coming home to the Lost Valley," because it's not really lost.
But Mama just calls it the valley.
The valley. Okay. Well, I like to nominate Hidden Valley as a new name for our maps, because the Lost Valley just sounds. That's the type of thing that really attracts someone like me who just really wants to find something that isn't known.
So you're saying that the Hidden Valley would be less likely to attract your attention than the Lost Valley?
He shrugs. Probably not.
Oh.
Real.
I would, if you do go in there, I would be careful. Because there's a lot of very big creatures that would eat you.
Oh, big creatures. It's like really big grown-up versions of creatures we find elsewhere, or just like mysterious creatures you won't find anywhere else?
Oh, you don't...
wisely based on who you're talking to.
Oh, well, I suppose you could find them elsewhere, maybe, if you travelled a lot through time. So it's really kind of... I'm sure if I'm not supposed to tell you, I won't be able to tell you, so I'm just going to say it. It's kind of a sanctuary for lost things and animals.
Lost animals.
Things that would have become extinct otherwise and
like
never been seen again.
okay. What do I roll for dinosaurs?
Nature?
That is not something that I'm good at.
What
It was all.
What do we roll the check for?
Like, oh, the extinct things like dinosaurs and dodo birds and Pikachu.
I've never heard of a Pikachu before, but it's probably, if it was going to go extinct, it's probably in there. But dinosaurs are, they're there. At the battle of the Thorns, in the very last battle, some of the Sentinels rode them into the fight.
You know, I heard that. I kind of thought that was storytelling, grandeur. They actually rode dinosaurs.
They're Fedwin, and I think he wasn't with the Thorn and the Black Rose in the book. Hold on. And he went to the Lost Valley with another cleric, and they would manage to get inside because the ladies of the valley let them in.
Oh, that Fedwin, I'm starting to believe that he's not capable of nearly the number of things that people say he just walked into the Lost Valley because he charmed someone enough to be let in, got to ride dinosaurs, and
well, according to the story, he was actually lured there because they were trying to test him to see if he could help them with something, and in exchange, they let him take the dinosaurs for a bit.
Oh. Right. Dinosaur rider, passer of strange tests, invader of dreams.
I don't know that was so much an invasion as just as a polite knocking. But I don't have dreams, so I don't really know how that works.
I should like to learn how to do that. Maybe when we get there, I can ask.
Get where?
Dreams. Can you imagine? Just wherever you are in the world, you just want to drop in and say hello. You just knock, knock, knock.
I think that would be kind of nice if you were able to dream together with someone.
Be a heck of a way to get away.
Did you want to try to go to Lost Valley?
He looks around. He's like, "Oh well, no offense, but you didn't do a very good job of deterring me from wanting to go there. But it's okay if we're going that way towards Weyburn, and we actually have leads to go there. Then that makes the most sense to go there. But I'm going to the Lost Valley one of these days.
I mean, eventually I'll see my grandmama again, and I can ask her if you can go, and she could probably help you. If you don't get an invitation, the ladies of the valley will probably not be too happy.
And the ladies, are those your sisters?
Oh no! My sisters are back home. These are the ladies of the court of the Feywild.
The Feywild.
The ladies in waiting. That's what they called themselves anyway.
Is the Lost Valley part of the Feywild?
Kind of. It's sort of Feywild, sort of not. It's kind of a pocket place that exists here so that things from here can be protected, but it's under the protection of the Feywild at the same time. That's why you can't ever really find it. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be telling most people these things, but I have not been stopped, so I think it's okay. That's why if you go there, all you find is just the rock. You have to have the invitation to go in.
Ah, I had no idea there was a place like that here. You know, the forest that I'm from is very similar.
It is?
Sort of. It's not a place that mortals can just simply stroll into. It's a sacred place of spirits and gods, like earthbound gods, not like ones up there waving flowy hair and capes. You know, the ones that kind of look like pigs and lions and such.
Oh, like animal gods?
He nods.
Oh, well, that's maybe that's where they got the ideas from.
Entirely possible. Right. Anyway, sorry. We're talking about where are we going next? Summercall is along the way. Nariko, you had mentioned that it makes sense to stop in there because we're going to pass it anyways.
Yes, that was the plan.
Great.
Right. So are we pretty much ready to go?
I think so.
Yep.
Was everything okay in your letter, Noriko, from your mum?
Oh, yes. I was sort of updating Mother on everything we'd done in Moonhaven and Edmay and updates about what we had learned about Marcus. I also sent along a few updates for the various contracts and business opportunities that I'd been keeping her abreast of. One of those, she sort of unpacks the rest of the package and starts pulling out some platinum pieces that she starts putting in with the rest of the party funds. I did receive a little bit of a commission for our help with getting the Dungarall mine back up and running.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, so we have a little bit of replenishment to the funds. Granted, after we had already done our big shopping day, but that's okay. There could be shopping elsewhere as well.
That's true. I mean, we are going to Summercall. That's supposed to be. Grandmama did not stop there when I first got here, so I have not been there yet. But some of the sailors on the ship were from there.
And I'll probably wait until I receive Marcus's reply before I do another round of correspondence with Mother. But yes, to the Summercall, where we will stop for a rest on our journey, take in the local atmosphere, and move on from there unless there's something that we think we could assist with.
Whew, okay, yeah, that sounds great. It's kind of almost like if we get to Summercall and it's just a regular town, it'll almost be like a vacation. Sort of. Anyway, okay. Should we go then?
Yep, Narco's ready to head out.
I'm prepared to depart.
Professor, have you gotten enough breakfast?
I'm good. Let's go before we change my mind.
Does Jeffrey have enough breakfast?
He should be fine. He's in here. He kind of pats the pocket where he keeps the Pokeball.
Great. It's again, just want to say, so lovely that you were able to bring Jeffrey back. I know you were upset.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure that was going to be a thing, but I'm glad that it was. A little bit of trial and error. More trial, less error, which is weird for me.
Oh, you're used to getting yourself electrocuted.
I did not get myself electrocuted. If you look at the definition of electrocution, I wouldn't be here.
Getting yourself zapped by lightning?
I feel like it is close enough.
I think it is kind of close.
I didn't nearly die, and it's fine. I learned, and I learned
Did you?
last night as well. I learned that there was nothing wrong with the thunderclouds, and they weren't of magical origin. That's something we didn't know prior.
That is actually really good information for us to have, because if those thunderclouds had been magic, we probably would have been in real trouble. Ruling out possibilities. That's a good thing. That was in your first journal. That was in the blue one.
That's doing science 101.
Doing science. Can we do science one day?
We're doing it right now.
We are?
We are.
Oh, it feels like normal day.
Everything is science, Jade.
It is?
This the conveyance of information from one brain to another. This, even breathing, the exchange of oxygen and the conversion to carbon dioxide. That's science. All of this science. Please don't turn this character into Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I kind of don't breathe. But,
You could if you wanted to, right?
sort of.
Well,
Well, anyway, maybe we can do a science experiment one day together. That's more than just breathing.
we will do as much science as you like.
Okay. Well, maybe tonight on the ship we can science.
We will absolutely do science on the ship. I'm dying to know what kind of science we're going to do. Because if it's like advanced calculus or something, I'm going to have to refer you elsewhere. But other stuff?
I don't know what that is, so, I'm sure we'll find something on the ship that's science.
He just kind of like starts picking up the books and loading them back into his pockets. Like, anyways, we could talk about this on the ship. It's gonna be a while.
Oh yeah, yes, let's go.
Ren's especially excited for science.
Oh really, Ren? Are you excited for science too?
I do not have enough fire prevention spells for this particular task.
Did you want to do a fire science?
I would really prefer not to do science that would possibly endanger your lives or the lives of our crew or party.
Does all science have to be dangerous?
Seems to be so when the professor's involved.
Oh. Well, maybe we can do a water science.
Drowning.
Yeah. We'll be on a ship sailing, so maybe we can do something with the water.
Listen, at least one of them doesn't have to breathe.
Nope. Which is good. So I'll have swim speed. So it's gonna be a struggle, guys. Don't let Jade fall off the boat.
She ain't gonna come back up now with all those skirts.
It's gonna be difficult.
It will be the perfect place to really go over the ins and outs of semiotics.
Oh, okay. And Jade will just follow with Professor and listen to him talk about whatever it is he's talking about right now, because she doesn't know what he's even saying. But she's listening very hard.
Yeah, does he know what he's saying?
Can I insight check the Professor to see if Jade thinks that he knows what he's saying?
Sure.
Oh, yes, please do that. Can I help?
Sure.
Okay, helping.
$23.
Well, I've written out 101 pseudo-scientific science of fantasy world facts and their definitions.
Jade 1,000% believes Professor knows everything that he's talking about right now.
Yeah, Ren still has doubts.
No amount of proving is going to solve those doubts for Ren.
No.
Absolutely. Facts.
That's not the scientific method.
Yeah, the professor could say, the sun is light. And Ren would be like, no, I have to question that. I was pretty cool with it before, but now I got questions.
Anything that you say is going to make me question it, even if I took it for granted.
Yep.
Isn't that what teaching is supposed to have you do?
Ren's eyes just flicker over to Jade.
You can't teach everyone. Not everyone is open to be taught.
Oh. Well, I want to be taught things.
Oh, we've got lots of time. You're going to learn a lot.
Hey. Good. Do I have to take a test? I heard that there are tests at school.
There are. Would you like to take a test?
Is it? I've never taken a test before.
Oh, then brilliant fun.
Oh, okay. I'll take a test.
Okay. Well, we'll do some work, and then you can study said work until you memorize it, so you never forget it. And then I'll ask you questions about that work, and you give me the answers that you memorized. That's a test.
Oh. It's just repeat something from your memory?
He nods. Just test
Oh.
to see if you remember.
Oh, what if I forget, though?
Well, then you didn't really study that hard, did you?
What if I forget later? Like, I've studied really hard, and I got that test done, but then I learned something else, and then I forgot the first thing that I learned.
It's
That's cramming, and that's what every student does.
That is called college, and we need some more hot wings and coffee to get through that. So that's just the conversation Jade's having with the professor the whole way to the ship, and probably while we're on it too.
So as that rambles on, the pathing that you take to the ship brings you by the town hall, where there's a bit of hustle and bustle around. There's people kind of milling all about. This is kind of like the central area, aside from the marketplace of the town. As you make your way through the streets here, kind of minding your own business, you come across as you kind of start exiting the square, heading towards that the northern part of the map where your ship is docked. You see an ornate, colorful covered wagon drawn by a mule. A man and a woman dressed in billowy, flowing garb and colors matching the wagon with long, wild hair tucked into bandanas stand in front of the broad side of the wagon, playing various instruments. Another similarly dressed woman sits in the open door at the back of the wagon. As you kind of pass by this area, the man and the woman playing instruments, they kind of stop and they make their way over to approach you, and they say, as they get closer, and they say, "Sorry, excuse us, we don't mean to interrupt. You look like you have places to go, but we wanted to thank you for what you've done for this town and the carnival. The whole town is abuzz with uh, your heroics from the other day."
Oh, hello. Well, you seem really familiar. Did we meet you before?
It's possible. We travel around a bit.
Oh, we've been traveling
Insight
too.
check.
What was that, Narco?
Like,
Insight check.
I like how Jade insight checks the professor and just assumes these people are just great.
Why does nobody just trust me?
Jade did trust you, and then Ren said he doesn't know what he's talking about, and so she had to double check, and she realized no, Professor's 1,000% right about everything he's talking about right now.
Forever.
Indeed.
Forever. On
.com.
science, she will never question you again.
Don't worry, I'll question it for all of us.
Narco, your insight check rings true. They don't seem to be trying to deceive you or anything like that. They just seem to be a traveling band of bards, I guess.
Okay. Question. From reading up on Barovia through the Istrad book, are the Vistani mentioned in that in any capacity?
There are Vistani mentioned, yeah. These guys do seem to fit a little bit of the description.
Gotcha. Narco will politely nod and say, "Well, that is what we do, Mystic Mechanicus. You were nomadic, though, right? This isn't your home in particular."
The man kind of smiles and pats the side of the wagon. He says, "This is the only home that we have here."
It's
So
a
you are
really
correct.
pretty wagon.
Thank you. We've tried to adorn it in colors that make people happy.
It's very happy looking.
Oh, thank you. Speaking of which, the town has woken up quite a bit since your deeds at the carnival the other day. It's on another note. It's very brave what you've done to stare those monsters in the face and send them back to hell.
Oh, did you talk to Gerardo?
We didn't have to talk to Gerardo to know what happened.
Oh. Why, I'm confused. How did you know what we did then?
The whole town is talking about it. Well, you know how word spreads from one person to another, and you know
Oh.
we avoided the carnival ourselves because, well, we kind of knew what was in there, but did not have the power to face it.
You knew?
The man just kind of nods. Yes, yes, we knew. When we saw the town afflicted with a sleeping sickness, we knew immediately what kind of thing we were dealing with.
We've seen this before? Here?
Not here, no. They're from.
Back,
What was that?
Naruto said, from back home.
Yes. The woman smiles. Yes, from back home.
Oh, where are you from? Do you need help at home?
No, 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 we're okay. But it's kind of you to offer.
Hmm.
Are you sure?
She says, yes, this is what we do. We do it quite regularly. We rather enjoy it.
Are you refugees here, or did you just happen to stumble upon this place like the Quads did?
Not refugees, travelers. We travel around, we watch, we spectate, we journal, we take an oral history.
The professor's eyebrows slowly climb up his forehead. He's like, interesting. And how many new places, and he really emphasizes places, have you been to just here? Or are there more?
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. Does everybody have information I don't have right now?
Naruto will kind of slide over to Jade and kind of, in a whisper, say, in Barovia, there are groups of traveling nomads called Vistani. I think that these folks are some of them. Apparently, they have the ability to pass through the mists to leave and re-enter Barovia. The only ones, more or less.
Oh, you're actually from not here.
Narco, were you kind of saying that out loud, or were you trying to keep it private between you and Jade?
Naruto is keeping it private enough with Jade, but not so private that the people present for this immediate conversation could hear it.
Okay. So the woman kind of steps up and she says, your friend is quite right. Quite spot on, actually. Surprised that you've heard of our home.
We found a book.
A book.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto,
Your secret?
No.
Naruto will pull out the Eye Strahd book.
So there's kind of a lifted brow. The two look at each other. They look at the book and they look back at you and they say, where did you find such a thing outside of Barovia?
Well,
The library.
yes. So you'll be taking your oral history back to your home at some point, so it's probably for the best that you know. There is a group here on our plane that is interested in unraveling the barriers between the various worlds and bringing forth the void that sits between them. They somehow their activities have caused some sort of breach in Barovia. There were void-afflicted creatures roaming there. Someone of the White Court by the name of Seraphina sent the Quads to investigate. The Quads stumbled through a doorway which deposited them here. Now, as to how we acquired this book, we found this from one of the caches that this cult was operating out of. Whether or not they have visited Barovia or simply snatched this through some sort of tear, I can't say.
Again, there's a bit of a pause of silence. You say they were. The man kind of turns to you all and says they were directed to come here by Serafina.
No, they were directed to deal with the monsters. They stumbled into the breach in the course of that investigation and decided they much preferred it on this side of the veil.
Do you know who Serafina is?
They kind of turn to you, Jade, and they say, well, she's one of the heads of the White Court.
Is that a good thing? Or...
It's a court of vampires, darling. The ones that you fought inside the carnival, there are more like those where we come from. There's a whole court of them, much like your Fey court.
Okay.
And if, presumably it means that Serafina doesn't know about a direct way to get between worlds, because if any of the courts were to come through that veil and were to invade this land, it would not be good. They are apex predators to the humans.
So, probably best not to send them a word about the troubles?
I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
Moreover, there was something else the Claudes brought with them. Narco will show them the damage book that they got. I was hoping to recover some information from this tome to fill in some more of our information about what we were dealing with, but it was too badly damaged. I'm curious about the symbol upon it, though.
The symbol upon that book, looking at the tattered leather cover that you have, the symbol of that book is representative of our Lord Strahd Bonzarovich. It is the Bonzarovich seal.
And all of the courts ultimately answer to him as Master of Barovia, I take it.
You're correct.
Great. If he was informed about this breach in his domain, would he be liable to want to use it to send more of his subjects through here, or would he want it to be cordoned off?
I think he would be quite jealous of anyone else who would be able to move between the worlds as we do. And I have a feeling that he would attempt to hide it away if he is knowledgeable of such a thing.
Good. I think the safety for both of our realms depends on us being able to make sure nothing else falls in between the cracks. And I'm sure you will take that however it needs to be handled.
Yes, quite.
So, I'm sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit because I'm still catching up with all the conversations that weren't conversations but were actually happening out loud that someone was talking about that wasn't really said. You can actually travel between the two planes of existence before there was a hole?
Yes, our people have a unique ability. There is a mist that surrounds Barovia that none can get past, not even Strahd himself, but our people are afforded the luxury to do so. It's part of our heritage, and it's part of our blood, and we go out and we seek out other realms to explore and learn about, and watch, and record. We don't really get to choose where we go, we go wherever the mist takes us, yes.
Okay, I have two questions to that. One is probably more important than the other, so I'll ask that one first. When you've been traveling and you're going through the mists and you're going to different places that aren't the place that you've chosen to go, have you come across any strange happenings within your mist or on the other sides? Like creatures you can't explain or strange feelings or evil crows watching you with red eyes or anything like that?
We have seen anomalies within our borders before we left Barovia, which would have been about a year ago your time. We've seen these anomalies, but Lord Strahd is quick to put them down. He always is mindful of his domain and is actually very, very protective of it.
Okay, and then I have a third question after that. So question number 2, that I was going to ask, I've forgotten it, so I'll come back to that in a moment. So question number 3 is, so he's really protective of his domain, but his domain sucks?
They kind of like bob
That's
their
what
head
I'm
back
sorry.
and forth.
I don't mean to insult your home. That's just what the quad said, and everybody said. And then the book made it seem like it was really dark and dismal there. And is that like a choice that you're making? Is that a thing? Do you have to go back?
It's not ideal for everyone. I'm sure eventually we will return. It just is Barovia, and people there know nothing different. It's not really a choice to be there. Those who are there cannot leave.
Okay. So they can though if a different door was opened.
Perhaps. Have you seen many of these patches of unexplained phenomena? We've recorded that they usually present themselves as some kind of hole or pit or trench or even some kind of doorway.
There is a hole in the mirror maze that is full of, well, it's about 100 feet down and it's about full of mist. Professor went tried to go through it and he heard wings flapping and then he got thrown out of it.
See, they all kind of nod and they say, yeah, that seems to match the descriptions, yes.
Do you know how to? I mean, it seems like it's stable and not opening and not letting anything else through, so maybe it's been taken care of. But do you know how to disappear it?
How? No.
Oh.
Our seer, though, has given us a vision. And we weren't really sure what it meant, but seeing these holes appear seems to start to make more sense. At least what the purpose is, but how to go about doing it has not yet been clear to us. Our seer has told us to mend the fabric of reality. It must first be unwoven, and it will take powers of the highest order to mind the garment while the tailors weave their threads to restitch its seams.
Out of character. So we're going to turn it off and then turn it back on again?
So,
Maybe?
have you ever noticed that a lot of times when people are speaking in visions that they are trying to use metaphors rather than tell you exactly what to do?
No,
I
that
have
sounds
found
like you
that.
told us exactly what to do.
Yep. I don't know what that means. Yep.
We know of something that is rumored to rip holes in the fabrics of reality.
Someone?
Someone, something, someone's capable of doing some things, yes.
What do you know?
That I don't think we can share with you.
Privileged information, you see.
I
What do
understand.
you know?
We've told you all that we find relevant.
Are you going to go home and tell Strahd what you've learned, so that he can keep so that he can stay keeping his domain safe, I suppose?
Well, you see, that's the other part of being what we are, is that we don't really get a choice of when we get to return. Perhaps one day we will, and
Oh,
when
so
we
you're kind
do,
of stuck
we'll...
here.
Yes, and when we do, we will share whatever findings that we can. All in the defense of our homeland, of course.
Well, I think then that's about the best we can offer. We've given you what forewarning we can about the events going on here, and I appreciate you sharing what you've learned in your travels.
The woman kind of speaks up and she says, if you ask me, it feels like this world is coming to a turning point. A potentially cataclysmic event.
Oh, that's not good.
Why is there always a cataclysm happening in this world? There's one right after another. It feels like they're just
Well,
tumbling out of the sky.
this is the world that all the other planes kind of exist around.
But I will say this. For you to be able to face down the White Court in this world, you are quite strong individuals, quite unique indeed. And I think that when the time comes for our tailors, and she kind of nods to you all, to restitch what has been opened, come see us. We may be able to offer some assistance. Our encampment is at the island in the center of Lake Dubabi.
Okay.
We have no desire to see reality torn asunder. And I know it's a tall ask of a few individuals, but you have a power about you that I do not think can be matched.
Really?
Yes.
Well, appreciate the vote of confidence. It could be quite a while before we are ready to make any such visit, because we've got a lot of research and investigation still on the table.
Of course.
Um, have you been to other worlds or just other planes?
They kind of smile sheepishly and they say, actually, this is the first time we've left Barovia.
Oh, really? Well, welcome. It's very nice to have you.
You have a lovely world.
It's my first time out in it too, so
Ah,
very nice.
the man kind of leans into you and kind of like does that like point back and forth to like kind of like indicate like there's like a connection. He says samesies.
I'm glad you're enjoying it in a non-destructive sort of way that the quads weren't.
Yes.
I have a very important question. Sorry, I totally interrupted. When we're done having this very important, very engaging discussion, I should like to ask you about something.
Oh, you can ask, Professor. It's okay. Our con just was talking.
Well, he gets in like a little bit closer and lowers his voice. Like, do you have any more of those delightful multicolored dream coats that you're wearing? Because I want one.
When you come to our encampment, perhaps we'll have one ready for you.
He grins. Well, we should probably go there now.
If you can make your way to the center of Lake Dubabi, absolutely, we'll be there. the rest of our encampment. Well, we won't be there, but the rest of our encampment will be.
Right. Good. Good. I put it in order, and I look forward to. He just gestures to them and their like little wagon, like to this, and carving out just a tiny slice of it for myself.
We would be happy for you to join us.
This subquest is going to end the professor going to Barovia and maybe regretting his choices.
Man kind of speaks up and he says, "Well, you're obviously on a very important mission, so we won't keep you any longer. But uh, it was lovely talking to you all, and again, thank you."
It was really nice to meet you. Um, thank you for the prophecy vision,
They
and I hope we meet again.
they just kind of nod at the woman and says, "Well, yes, that's part of the point of our travel, yes. And we sure hope to see you again as well."
All right, on to the ship.
To the ship.
To the ship.
Here we go.
Narco has no idea what secret hidden power they're referring to. She's got a gun. That's her power.
I've got a gun. All right. So,
Right? Well, that was a strange meeting, wasn't it?
Not as strange as many of the other things we've come across so far. Although it is interesting, considering how sort of sequestered Barovia is, that we should happen to meet one of its very, very few travelers.
I think I remember seeing a cart like theirs back at Crystal Cove. They were the ones who were talking about the world was going to end, and then no one would let me talk to them.
I think the same people, but maybe a different traveling group. I think those ones might have been taking the vision very, very literally there, or felt that it was imminent to happen. Oh, my intelligence tattoo has gone away. I'm no longer not just a regular genius.
oh, the horror.
I still have a cat butt on my face for at least 2 more sleeps.
No, the cat butt goes away after an hour. That's long gone.
Oh, damn shame.
That was the face painting. That's long gone.
Nothing says trustworthy like a cat butt.
So Joe, sailing a route up and around the Horn to dock at Summercall. How many hours, days would that trip be by boat?
So let's take a look. So you got it here, and then it's like kind of here, and then you kind of come into the cove here. So it's like looking at 90 miles. Looking at the speed of the Corvus, you can do 144 miles per day. Uh,
So it's basically a full sailing day. Like we start in the morning, we'll be getting there like as nightfall comes.
yeah, that's about right.
Perfect.
Yep, I got doing the actual math on it by percentages and the hours of the day. It'll take you about it's about a 15-hour trip.
Makes sense. then Naruto will be doing more downtime tinkering.
All right. So you got about half a day on the ship. So leaving it as early as you are, probably take you to maybe almost midnight by the time you guys would arrive in Summercall. Um, so you have some time. Is there anything that you guys would like to work on whilst in transit? Anything?
Ren would like to bond with Char Char.
Oh, give me animal handling.
That's
Do
just
it.
what I can do. I'm on kitten. We will be friends.
What is Ren doing to bond with Char Char?
Ren is trying to lay out some of the little food rations.
Bribe her with food.
Yeah, okay, that usually works. Yeah, it does! Ah,
So you kind of like putting treats down, and you got like the uh almost like the equivalent of like that soft treat that you kind of like squeeze out of a tube, and kind of getting
yeah,
Char Char to come closer to you. And before you know it, little Char Char is rubbing around your little boned legs, kind of curling around your bony shoulders, and scratching his face against your antlers.
this is excellent. Also, Loki will fight me for one of those tubes, so yeah, this is very effective.
Very nice.
Ren is a very happy Death Star.
So freaking cute. I think Jade is going to seek out the professor again for more tutoring, but also to talk with him about what the Vistani were telling them.
Okay.
Where is the professor when we settle into the ship?
Like in the ship, how big is there? Like a common area below deck, like a mess or anything like that? I don't think we really established like the total size of the Corvus.
Yeah. So in the lore channel, I do have a document that kind of lays out some stats for the ship, a little bit of the structure. So you do have kind of like you have the main deck, which is where your cannons and stuff are. There's a lower deck below that, which is there are some quarters. There's a brig there, um, and there's some storage. But below that is the hold, and that is kind of like there's like a big open space down there that you guys can fashion to do whatever you like.
Okay, so I think that having a student, he probably would have at least claimed a part of that flex space to be like like a table where you can do writing and lessons and that kind of thing. So he's probably going to be down there sort of helping go over some of the texts and writing some stuff when Jade's off doing her own thing, and just he'd be down there puttering about with his books.
Okay, Jade's gonna find him after securing Nuala and making sure she's okay. Newell, did you want to come with me to talk to the professor, or do you want to be by yourself? By yourself meaning I would give you David.
Sure, I'll take David. I am trying to figure out a few things. Although
Okay.
Alatar is being stubborn and not helping again.
Oh, well, she'll take David out. Here, David is great to answer questions. He knows a lot of different things about a lot of stuff.
Thanks. Maybe he can help me decipher some of this.
Yeah, David. Will you help Nuala, please?
Yeah, I can help Nuala. Yeah, of course.
Wonderful. She gives David a hug and hands him over to Nuala. I'll be back in a little bit, and if anything happens, David will let me know.
Okay,
Great. Be safe, okay?
I will.
Okay. And she's gonna go down to find the professor. Professor.
Hello.
Hi. I thought Noriko had kind of mapped out that it was going to take us quite a while to get to Summercall. I thought maybe if you're not too busy, we can do some more studying, and maybe some science, and also some talking, because I had questions that I kind of wanted to ask you before I asked anyone else.
Sure. Well, come, have a seat. Let's chat first, and then once you gotten the answers you're looking for, we can do talking and science and studying all at once.
A lot, but yes, okay. And she'll sit down with Professor. So the people we met, the nice, colourful people that we met before we got here, the people with the visions.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they had a vision and a prophecy that we were going to have to, and they called us weavers, that we were going to have to undo things before it could be fixed.
Yes.
And you said you know of a powerful person and a powerful thing that can do that. Were you talking about Elida?
No, but I imagine she probably could. No, I was more talking about the idea that we've kind of had this sort of insinuation that the void magic, is ripping holes in reality, causing tears.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me, the idea that we would have to unravel the fabrics in order to repair it. We have that kind of power. We have the power to unravel the fabrics, if it's at all possible, without testing it. Of course, I'm not able to confirm anything, but the theory is there.
Yeah? What's your theory?
Well, less my theory and more everybody else's theory is that continued use of the void could rip tears. I haven't really tried or witnessed a tear being ripped while exercising this magic. And what I now more than ever, I feel like it's important to see the validity of such ideas, although ripping tears in reality is a truly frightening notion to tackle.
Well, it is scary to think about the things that could happen if it goes wrong. But if you have to take the seams out of something to be able to mend it properly, there's always a risk that you're not going to mend it entirely correctly, but it'll still be mended. Maybe better than it was before. Do you think that? Are you saying that you think that we need to use the void to stop? Are you saying that we need to use the void in a good way to mend the things that the other people are tearing apart?
In more or less words, I guess you could say that, yeah. So we don't actually know if it's really a thing, if it is indeed tearing anything in reality. I think that first and foremost, that's something we need to validate.
Well, I'm a little scared of the void, Professor, only because we just don't know a lot about it. And Nariko had a pretty big theory that was very scary, and we were seeing all the things that were happening when the cult members are using it. But you haven't tried to do anything bad with it. I mean, you've defended us and used the magic to fight our enemies, but you've never used it against us, and you've never used it. It's not like the magic is using you, right?
He nods and he says,
So maybe our theories are wrong, and it's just maybe it's just a different type of magic that needs a place to go, and that's why when you use it, the void isn't. Maybe it's not a void. Maybe it's just filling up a spot that used to have something else and pushing the other thing out. Maybe you
nods.
can only use one or the other.
You know, it's easy to fear a blade if you've witnessed someone brutally murder someone with a dagger. And it'd be hard to consider that.
When the professor says that, you see Jade, like, flinch and, like, touch her left eye. Like she just had a spike of pain. Second.
Can I do? Do I see that? Do I need to roll a perception on that?
No, it's very obvious that you see that happen. Like she just jerks back a little bit when you say that.
He winces at that and he's like, "Sorry."
No, it's okay. I was got like a strange headache for some reason.
It's
No, you're right. If someone only sees bad things, then that's all they're gonna expect is bad things, right?
He nods and he's like, "It's really easy to forget that doctors and healers use blades to help people as well.
That's true.
And it's all about who's using the tool for what end the tool gets used." I was really trying to sound insightful, and that didn't pan out.
No, I think you're right. It's all about, are you using the magic or are you letting the magic use you? You know, are you the one who's wielding the sword, or are you letting revenge wield the sword for you, or something insightful like that, I guess.
Well, I can assure you, without a shadow of a doubt, I have not considered using the void to hurt people that...
Weren't first hurting you.
Yeah.
I set someone on fire with a moonbeam, Professor, and there was no void that was part of that at all. So, I trust you, and I do think that sometimes you are a little too reckless with your own safety, but I don't think you're reckless with our safety. I saw your face when you thought that Yuki and Ren had been hurt by the void that you had used. You didn't want that to happen. I don't think you'd ever hurt us on purpose. And if something happened on accident, I know you'd do everything that you could to fix it. If you think that we need to do more, I'll help you.
Let me ask you a question, Jade.
Yeah, of course.
Are you afraid for your safety in what I'm doing with the void? I know you just said that you don't think I would purposely hurt you, and I absolutely would not, but...
I think I'm afraid of not knowing more than I'm afraid of. I am afraid of so many things all the time because I don't know what's going to happen, and so I try so hard to think of what might happen, and then if I think of the worst thing that could happen and it doesn't happen, then it's not so bad, you know. And Papa says I have anxiety, and I don't know really how to stop that, but we've all been traveling together for a few weeks, and it sometimes feels like it's been a whole year, and sometimes it feels like it's been a day. And I have seen some very awful things, but I've seen some very wonderful things too. And I have Noriko, and I have you, and I have Nuala, and I would never have had all of you if some of those terrible things didn't happen. I mean, would Yuki have stayed with us if there wasn't something calling her to travel with us? Would Ren have even been alive if something hadn't happened that his god sent him back for? I think I'm just afraid of not knowing and not understanding. But I want to understand it, and I want to not be afraid, and I think the only way to do that is to try and see it through, even if it is scary. I'm not really afraid for my safety, I don't think.
Good.
I am afraid of what the cult people will do to other people. I'm afraid that they're going to have more people like Rockamira who are caught up in the thing that they were told was true, and that they think it's okay to hurt other people to make sure that they get what they want. That I'm very afraid of, and we need to stop that.
I very strongly believe that. And I've been very upfront with this whole time, that understanding this is the key to beating it. And not just understanding how to use the magic. I mean, yes, I think that's very important. But understanding the magic, understanding the void, and understanding this whisperer is a key, because when we run into another Rockamera, and we will run into other Rockameras who firmly believe in their convictions, just as Yuki does in hers, just as I do in mine, you in yours, that they're doing the right thing. The more we understand what they believe is right, the better suited we are to try and de-escalate them from a place of hurting others to understanding.
That's true.
And it's really easy to see all these bad things that these people are doing, want it to just erase them from existence, as Master Arenaris would so eloquently put in nicer words. But I think the real key is to try and talk first, reason with, understand, get to know their side, why they're doing these things. And the more we understand, the easier it is to talk with them. And the more we talk with them, the more we understand. And if this comes to a head where we have to face off against all of these cultists, or heaven forbid, they manage to do whatever it is they are trying to do with the void out here, and we have to face that head on, our strongest weapon is going to be the knowledge we've picked up along the way.
So that we know how to use it.
So we know how to use it, know what we're fighting, know why we're fighting it. And between you and I, as a man of science, I'm always open to being swayed. If the right proof is laid before me, I would hate, and I mean, not saying I'm swaying this way currently, but I would hate to get to the end of all this and find out that we were wrong, that we were on the wrong side of this, that all this time, all the things that have been happening that seem terrible, that these were all made sense in some twisted way, and that was the means to a better end, and we were fighting it.
Well, I think at that point then you have to ask yourself the question, do the terrible things justify what you get at the end? Because the terrible doesn't make them any less terrible when they're happening.
All right.
But, you know, it's also the idea that maybe it's bad people who are trying to make their own version of what is right. And that's the reason it's been bad. Not because inherently it's evil or bad, but because the people who are holding the power are the ones who are bad.
All very good hypothesis. And you are doing science right now. That is the very
Really?
basis of what it is, because at the base of it, you come up with a hypothesis and you test to prove it wrong. You're not trying to prove things right, you're trying to prove things wrong. And if we look at this from that perspective, if we look at it as they're doing bad things for bad reasons, we want to prove it wrong, or maybe the other way. We have automatic ideas of what they're doing here. We've all come to a conclusion based on our experiences. And it's our job to understand whether or not those conclusions are based in real knowledge or if they're just emotional responses.
Well, I think the knowledge of the things that we've seen them do are pretty bad.
We've done some not so great things to those people as well.
True. But usually it's to defend other people or to stop them from doing something.
I don't disagree. I'm just
Well,
saying we need to know all the angles before we start to make the cut.
that's true. Have you been feeling any differently at all? You've not had any kind of reaction to the void, it doesn't seem. And we keep calling it, corruption and all of that, but maybe that's the wrong word for it.
Well, I've had a little bit of reaction, but we already knew about that. He does the air quotes like corruption. I like to call it slippage, but my ability to cast ordinary spells seems to be affected in a certain way, which is not ideal, but
have you tried using... I'm going to say something that I'm sure Noriko would not like me saying, but if we're under the assumption that maybe that we need to keep experimenting with the void, have you tried using that magic to do something else? If it is all magic, could it not do some of the same things your magic from this plane does? Maybe you just have to think about it in a different way.
I summoned my familiar using the void last night.
You got Jeffrey back by using the void.
He nods. It was not as easy as the first time, I can tell you that.
Well, the first time was an accident.
It's like to transcribe ordinary spells into a void version of the spells. It's not going to be an easy path.
Well, is any magic easy? The first time anyone discovers it? I mean, you've seen the spellbook that Nuola has.
It depends on the caster, really. I mean, sorcerers, apparently, like myself, come by their magic naturally. They don't have to study, they just do it, they just know it.
Maybe that's why it's so hard for you, because now you actually have to study it.
I'm an interesting case, because I was also a wizard, and I did do the studying. But it turns out that a wizard without a spellbook is...
Well, again, I've seen the spellbook that Nuola carries, and I don't know how you'd memorize any of the stuff you would need to do from that. There are so many diagrams and so many arrows everywhere, and I don't understand half of it. That's why I could never be a wizard. And I did try.
Perhaps you should try again. Maybe I could help you.
Maybe. I don't have the skill for all the writing bits, and it's very hard to memorize anything. Well, my magic also kind of is inherent in me, and I don't really have to think about where the magic comes from. I have to just imagine what I want to happen and will my magic to do what is in my imagination, and that's how my magic works. I don't have to write it down or ask it a specific set of things. I just feel it enough and it comes alive.
He nods. He's like, I get it. My first magic was clerical in origin as well.
You've done a lot of different magics.
I've been around for a while.
Yeah, you're pretty old.
I human standards, pretty old, yeah.
Yep. I mean, you're old for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
I mean, you look great for your age.
Well, I'm not very old at all for a kitsune.
Yeah. See, you're great. But anyway, so long as you're okay, and I trust you and believe that you would tell us if you started to not be okay. I think maybe it's worthwhile for us to try to figure things out again rather than just being scared all the time.
He nods and says, I think I agree with you.
And you haven't been hearing any kind of monsters in your head or anything? Any whispered ones or anything like that?
No, just the blatant declaration of doubt.
I think that's just normal.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to do an experiment then? We have all night.
Yeah. I've got a couple ideas lined up.
Okay,
Just for the occasion.
great.
Professor will line things up to do an experiment, which is really mostly just him trying to explain how to do stuff.
Yay.
All right. Very nice. Is there anything specific that Nuala is looking to do with Alatar and David there?
No, not specifically.
Okay.
No, just a little bit of RP flavoring for her deciphering spells.
Okay. Cool. Well, very good. Then around around midnight or so is when the Corvus will make its way to the dock at Summercall.
Woohoo!
So as you approach the dock and as you approach the city, you see it's all lit up in various colors. The beach side is all dark, being that it is night out, but you do see that there are lights coming from a resort not far from the dock itself. It appears that there is a nighttime dance party going on the outside patio. There are people enjoying drinks and cocktails and food, and there are nighttime beach games. You see tiki torches kind of lit up all over the place, and people just generally enjoying themselves, having a good time. We'll move on to the Summercall map, which is a daytime map, but it's nighttime. How do you guys?
I can hear the music from a steel drum already.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
So you
Nice
pull into the
try.
dock. The crew is very good at kind of they're very quick and adept at tying up the ship and securing it to the dock and making sure that you guys are all good to go. Are you guys looking to spend the night on the ship before heading out onto land, or do you want to just head right out?
This late at night, most people are probably all asleep.
Then I guess the question is, do you guys fall asleep before you make port?
Yeah, I'm definitely sleeping.
Probably. Probably just everyone rest on the ship and then in the morning head out. There's not much we can do at night anyway.
That's fine. We'll save us a little bit of gold on accommodation at the start, anyhow.
Sure. So those of you who are awake, will see all that nighttime partying and revelry. But you're more than welcome to spend the night on the ship. No one will kind of bother you at the dock. You see that there are guards that kind of patrol the area. Seems pretty secure. Um, nothing really, nothing really exciting happening other than what's happening at the beach party. But in the morning, the sun rises, and as you wake and look out over the sides of the ship, you kind of see that the dock, now that there's sunlight out, you get a better view of it. The dock kind of leads up towards land, and right where the dock meets land, there's like a little what you see is a little guard station. Inside this guard station is you can kind of see the form of a male centaur wearing a loosely fitted short sleeve shirt in a faded shade of turquoise with a little logo kind of on the chest.
Hello.
Oh, so you're making your way out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we did. Are we
I,
making our way out for breakfast?
Yeah, we'll make our way out, stop by the bulletin board, check the latest news, see if there's anything get one of those local tour guide maps, see if any of the attractions are of interest.
so as you disembark onto the dock and make your way to the shore, uh, this kind of shack that you come closer and closer to, you realize as you get closer to it is more of a bellhop stand. As I mentioned, behind the stand is a male centaur, skin bronzed by the sun and tousled sandy brown hair. His lower equine half has fur of matching color. He wears a loosely fitted short sleeve shirt in a faded shade of turquoise with the logo of the resort's name Summercall subtly embroidered on the chest. He wears a pair of stylish black sunglasses, which hangs casually from his collar. As you kind of make your way out, you see that there are several pamphlets and stuff about Summercall, about the actual resort. That's name is Summer's Call, um, and there are advertisements for various other amenities within towns, such as high-end shopping, clothing, jewelry, art, home decor, fine dining, um, and there are quite a few pamphlets for a large spa complex that is in the middle of town named the Radiant Mermaid, which offers a bathhouse, massages, cool and warm wraps, aromatherapy, manicure, pedicure, hydrotherapy, and saltstone relaxation rituals. As you kind of make your way up to the bellhop stand, the centaur behind the stand lifts his head a bit and addresses you, his voice carrying a note of boredom and monotony. Looks at you all saying, "Hello, my name is Craig. Welcome to Summer's Call, where the sun shines, the waves gently kiss the shore, and pirates from the sanctuary occasionally drop by for a show. Yeah, you heard that right, pirates. We've got the whole theatrical production of pillaging and looting on the schedule. It's a riot, literally. Just thought I'd give you a heads up so you don't spill your drink when they come charging in. By entering Summer's Call, you are agreeing to the following terms and conditions. You will be given a piece of treasure to keep on your person at all times. When the pirates come to pillage and loot, you are to give them that piece of treasure as part of the show. If you'd like to opt out, you may refuse to take the piece of treasure, but you must stay in your room or off property during the raid. How will you know when it's about to happen? Trust me, you'll know, and you'll have warning. If you have wee ones in your party, they will also be given a piece of treasure to give to the pirates during the show, and you are strongly suggested to keep them close during the raid. Unattended children will be kidnapped and conscripted into piracy. Ha ha, just kidding. They won't be conscripted, but they will be taken to the pirates' daycare program, he does in air quotes. Summer's Call does not assume liability if this happens, but we do offer a complimentary ferry to Sanctuary twice a daily in case you need to negotiate for your wee one's return. And for anyone who might be the adventuring type, if you're thinking of being a hero and taking on the pirates, let me save you the trouble. It's not worth the effort. We've got a deal with these pirates, and they're just here to make a scene, grab some loot, and then sail off into the sunset. This is a system that has worked for 30 years. So, feel free to enjoy the action from a safe distance. The bar's over there, the beach is that way, and if you need any assistance, find any of our attendants wearing these shirts. And then he kind of sits back down behind the bellhop stand and puts his sunglasses on.
Oh my god, that was so perfect. That was so
Nice
perfect.
work, DM.
Oh, I hope
Sorry,
everyone gets
what was that part about there being pirates? Can I hear that again?
He stands back up.
He
What
holds his
was the
hands
whole
up. I'm
thing?
joking. I'm joking. You just seemed like you just really enjoyed telling the story. It's fine. Sit down. Don't hurt yourself.
Kind of nods and sits back down. I can give you the greeting again if you really want.
Is that what you really want?
Does it look like it's what I really want?
I'm not convinced that anything on this world is something you really want by the look on your face.
Professor, be nice.
He kind of
I,
forces a smile and he says, "It's always a wonderful day here at Summercall. I'm sure you'll enjoy yourselves."
Well, thank you, Craig. That was a lovely welcome.
He's just kind of like chewing on. He's chewing on an apple.
This is my friend Ren.
Hello.
He also likes apples a lot.
Indeed.
There are plenty of apples back at the resort. If you want, they can even make you a nice little freely cocktail out of it.
How long are we staying here?
At least the day.
We're gonna grab breakfast. We're gonna take a look about, and then most likely we'll set sail tomorrow.
I must get all of the fruity cocktails.
Well, yeah, let's go.
Well, it's a resort. I bet you can. I bet you can buy one with breakfast. They'll be happy to serve you.
Excellent.
Question for us: are we taking the treasure to be part of the pirate show?
I do not want to be sent away from the cocktails, so yes.
Okay, it sounds like that could be fun. I've never met other pirates other than the few pirates we've already met. Not in a show scenario, anyway.
Joe, what sorts of treasure are handed out to guests to keep on their person?
There's like a you would be able to find this by going to the resort itself and kind of checking in, but you can kind of see as you're standing there and kind of like taking in the crowd that's walking around. It looks like they're given just some basic jewelry. There's like gold bracelets. There are little charms kind of embedded in them. Um, Earrings, chalices, small gems, crystals. Um, why don't you give me a perception check?
Sure. I reminded the last time I went to a resort where they had little microchips in bracelets that they handed out that were like tied onto your wrist and were like stay tied through the entire time of your stay.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Disney does
okay,
that now.
that's a nat 20 on the die and then a +4 for the guidance. So plus perception is a 29.
So as you're kind of you're taking in the crowd and you're clocking the little bits of treasure that these people are walking around with. Um, like I said, it's all different kinds of like jewelry and gems, but no single item is worth more than about 100 150 pieces of gold.
That's still surprisingly valuable
Oh yeah.
for already. So yeah, I guess whenever we check in at Resort HQ so that we can get directions to the various breakfast buffets. I'm guessing everyone is acquiring a piece of treasure.
Jade certainly is. Executive decision, Yuki is too. Because she's not going to let everybody go out alone on a pirate raid where she can't watch them.
Is anybody refusing the treasure? Before, actually, I should probably say, before you answer that question, if you do decide to rent a room here for the evening, it is 2 gold a night per person. If you refuse the pirate rate show, it is 1 gold.
How could I turn down such a glowing review like we just got?
I mean, I'm not going to turn it down. Aren't you excited to be part of the show where it's a scheduled fun?
Scheduled fun.
Because then we don't have to, nothing bad can happen because it's all part of the show.
I wish you'd not say things like that.
Why?
I
Do you not
believe
like doing
that's what
shows?
they call a jinx.
It is?
Yes,
Why?
because it practically invites bad things to happen.
No, it's keeping bad things from happening because it's all a fun show.
You will wait and see what actually happens.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. It's gonna be so much fun.
You know, there was a professor at my university, Professor Murphy, who posited that anything that could possibly go wrong will inevitably go wrong, especially if you question whether or not it's going to happen.
Well, that seems like a bad outlook to have on everything.
That seems highly improbable.
That too. I mean, if everything could go wrong and will go wrong, that means we would have sunk that ship already. We haven't.
Well, now you've said it, and it's probably. We should probably stop talking about these things.
Okay.
Somebody give me a higher low.
Don't make it me.
No, absolutely not. Why would you ask for that right after we mentioned possibly sinking the ship?
Did I hear low?
No, you know the answer.
Suzanne always goes low, and
I'm
none of the
Low.
rest of y'all were answering.
Suzanne and Jade are in agreement of low.
I'm still shaking the dice. Going low?
Go low.
Low, low, low.
I knew I should have stayed
Congratulations.
home for that.
The roll is 35. Your ship does not spring a leak at that exact moment.
Oh no! Have we invited in the god of chance and destruction?
I mean, if
No,
the
just
ship sprung a leak, one, Narco would have it fixed within minutes, and two, the entire crew would be sat down and being given a very long lecture
Also true.
about checklists and why they're important.
Also true. With Narco putting down for the whole crew, you guys are shown inside the resort. It's a very nice, open air kind of place. The kind of place where all the windows, doors are open almost all the time because there's great weather and you get the nice sea air coming in. They show you around to the various different restaurants that are available on property, each just as nice as the other one, with a very impressive spread across every single one of them. You see that there are waiters all wearing the same like turquoise blue polo shirts, crisp white kind of aprons as well, going around and serving you and giving you whatever you want. So you're shown to one of these kind of outdoor venues that has like a like patio cover over it, um, done up very nicely. Direct access to the beach right at the edge of the restaurant, so you can go right for breakfast right into sunning yourself in the sand, going into the water. It's kind of a muted crowd a little bit this morning. A couple of bleary eyes surrounding you from maybe some patrons who had stayed up and partied too late. But overall, it's a very pleasant, relaxing experience.
Oh, this is so much fun. Look at how pretty everything is here.
The professor like smooths out his like curly wavy hair. It's like, it is so humid here.
Over here, one of the waiters comes around and says, "Well, so we do have a restaurant that is more enclosed indoors. If that's more to your comfort, it is a cooled room. If you prefer, we call it air conditioning."
You have a room where the air is conditioned. What is it conditioned with?
Well, magic, of course.
Oh,
Cold spells mostly to try to keep the air temperature to a comfortable. I'm going to say 68 degrees because I don't know what the equivalent is in Celsius.
69?
Oh, 68 degrees. It sounds lovely. What? Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. He's saying this kind of like he's sweating. He has refused to take off his jacket, so he's got like full on like long pants and his long shirt with his big jacket on top. His like hair is sticking to his forehead. And, like, that sounds lovely.
Although, if I may suggest, sir, perhaps you would be more comfortable sitting outside if you were wearing perhaps some lighter attire. And he kind of looks around to people on the beach, and you see people are just kind of like hanging out there in like sleeveless shirts and shorts. Nobody's got shoes on. Everyone's like flip flops. And it's all flip flops and tank tops and swim shorts.
Why is everyone naked here?
They're not naked, sir. They're wearing swimwear. It's what one wears when you go to lounge at the beach or perhaps swim in the ocean.
I guess that checks out. It's right there in the name.
Indeed it is.
Well, he kind of looks and he's like, lovely sentiment. But all of this, and he gestures to what he's wearing, he's like, this is what stops me from becoming a squishy slug beneath the foot of some giant monster of some sort. And that sounds ridiculous, but I can tell you that we have not gone anywhere where there hasn't been some sort of monster of some sort waiting to squish me beneath foot.
But Professor, what if this time there isn't a monster and then you miss out on all the fun?
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
The server kind of leans in a bit, and he lowers his voice, but it's still loud enough that the whole table can hear. And he says, "I assure you, sir, there will be no monsters attacking you here. We have had a trade agreement with the pirates who put on our daily show, and they keep our town quite safe. You have nothing to worry about here, and there hasn't been any incident in the 30 years that we've had this agreement with them."
The pirates keep you safe?
They do, yes. As part of the agreement that we have with them, they put on the daily shows for us, but because our agreement is profitable for them, they have also agreed to patrol our town to make sure that our residents and our guests are quite safe.
There's hidden pirates in the town?
I wouldn't say hidden, but just knowing that the presence can appear at any moment tends to keep the riffraff away.
Oh, how exciting! See, Professor? And we've already met pirates before, and they were lovely people.
I'm not so concerned about the pirates. I'm more concerned about a crazed cult popping out of nowhere that maybe pirates aren't so versed in facing off against in their show. Anyways, I appreciate it, and I will take that into consideration if I ever consider taking my jacket off. Ever.
Well, then, in the meantime, sir, you may avail yourself of our air-conditioned dining room whenever you like.
I'm going to see this air-conditioned dining room.
Okay.
Naruko also wants to go see the air-conditioned room.
Jade is happy to stay out in all of the warmth.
The only cold spells I have are void-related.
You don't want that.
Here, let me help!
And then you get turned inside out.
Yeah.
Cooler,
Naruko
though.
doesn't mind the weather. She just wants to investigate what sort of system they've got hooked up here for temperature moderation, because that gives her ideas.
um, so, those looking to explore a little bit, you make your way kind of inside uh, the resort, and in the inside bit, there's another, nicely window paned double door. You open it up, and it's kind of like coming inside like a movie theater in summer. You're hit with a wall of pleasantly cool air. The inside of this room has been kept at a comfortable temperature as such. Um, and you can kind of hear, if you listen close enough, there is a low, like humming coming from like vents within the walls that appear to be some are blowing out cool air, others are pulling the warm air in. So it has this kind of like air cycling uh, system going on.
Hmm.
Naruko starts casting Detect Magic. She is going to start examining this air filtering system.
With detect magic, you do detect that there is a bit of evocation magic going on. Um, as you kind of look through the vents, you can see from where you're at that they kind of run uh, deep inside the wall, and from the humming, you can kind of infer that there is some kind of mechanism within there that appears to be running the system.
So she guesses that they've got some amount of artifice that is part of the process here. It's not
Stand,
just entirely like the magic glitch setup.
yeah, it would stand to reason. Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Okay. What Naruko wants to do is she wants to take the water cycling uh, information that she learned from saw that first spa we went to where we were in the hot tub and she was questioning like how they keep the flow of warm water going. Uh, and then she wants to translate that to instead of that you're flowing air, and then she's going to take the principles behind the sort of compressor that she had picked up from Brother Edward's Final Effects. And what do I have to roll to kind of invent refrigeration? Would that be like an Arcana check or?
Oh, um, yeah, yeah. We can do Arcana with that.
Roll a luck check to see if Narco's the first one who's thought about it.
Okay, so I don't have a 22 intelligence anymore with the set, but I did
Oh,
roll a 28 on the total.
yeah. You can kind of guess that there is some kind of system in there. Um, you can apply the concepts of what you've accumulated so far. That it's kind of like it's almost kind of like a water cooling system. So like uh, air gets kind of pulled in. There is a system of uh, like water and water pumps that push around the water that are actually kind of siphoning the heat away from the warm air that gets pushed over where the cool liquid is run through, and then cooler air is expelled out the other side.
Mm.
Furious schematics are being drafted as she just sits in this dining room. Occasionally, she will eat a piece of muffin for breakfast. She's way more focused on this right now.
Professor, as you're watching Naruko hard at work, what are you up to?
He's probably just sitting there watching Naruko for a time. And then once he's sufficiently cooled enough, I think he would probably go back out and kind of wander and see what's in the vicinity, what kind of amenities are there, what can he get up to without getting too crazy.
Kind of in the so early you leave in the resort grounds.
Yeah, I mean, we got a pretty solid guarantee that nothing bad could possibly happen,
No,
right?
of course not. um, yeah, you can kind of make your way out into the streets of the city, and as immediately outside of the resort is your typical it's your typical tourist pedestrian area. Um, as mentioned in some of the brochures, there's a bunch of high-end shopping nearby. It's all clothing, jewelry, art. Um, and there's a number of restaurants that are nearby. Nothing that would be particularly useful for adventurers, but some nice luxury shopping in the area for sure.
Lovely, lovely. So just take stock of what's there before trying to find everyone.
Uh, Meanwhile, the rest of you, are you sticking on the patio on the outdoor area?
Jade is for now, unless Nuala wants to go anywhere, or Ren.
Ren has got a fruity drink, and he has found a small fish for Char Char. He is set.
They actually make some pretty nice apple teenies here.
Excellent. Does it have a small umbrella in it?
I mean, otherwise, what's the point?
This is most satisfactory.
So Red's doing some day drinking.
I think Jade is going to just enjoy the sunshine and the fact that this place seems to be very well protected already, with security everywhere and pirates hidden, and she's going to enjoy her food and her drinks and try to get everybody to stop thinking she jinxed them when she said that it was a lovely place.
Is anybody else drinking anything alcoholic?
Jade's going to order something sweet and fruity because she wants a pretty drink like Ren has. But so if there's something alcoholic in that, you go nuts.
Yeah, I mean there are frozen daiquiris available.
Yeah, she'll get one of those, not knowing what a daiquiri is.
Yeah.
Me too.
Nice.
Cool.
So it is very fruity. It is
That's slushy.
nicely chilled. You do get that kind of bite of rum at the end. But it's like a little bit. It's like a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice. It's very, very nicely blended. Um, as you guys have been sitting here for a while, why don't each of you give me Constitution saving throws?
Okay.
How strong are these
21.
drinks?
There were apples involved. I am good.
For Jade. Oh no, Nuala. Uh-oh. About to start playing games of truth or dare.
Jade and Ren, you're able to put a couple of these back, and they go down easy and smooth. You're able to handle them. Nuala, the first one is a little bit strong, and it's you're not like uh you're not like sloshed or anything like that, but yeah, things are slightly tilty.
I really like these things.
I think mine was a lot stronger than I'm used to drinking.
Oh,
This is quite refreshing.
is it too much ice?
No, I think I'm just gonna hold off on alcohol for a little bit.
Oh, yours has alcohol in it.
You know what's really fun? Drinking a whole bunch of those and then talking to the Summer Queen.
Hi, Professor. What have you been doing?
Lurking over your shoulder, watching you silently so you didn't know I was there.
Oh, well, you were very good at sneaking.
You underestimate my sneakiness.
Well, no, because I didn't expect you, and you were sneaking. But you said things first, so I didn't get too startled.
This is why you're supposed to wear your friendship collar.
You got a friendship collar?
Mm-hmm.
Is it matching? With Ren? Do you have a friendship collar too?
I would wear it if it did.
I do, but it's too small for me, so Char wears it.
Oh, well, we should get another one made for you that fits. That way you could have it together.
But I like having both my gingers wear them.
Well, then you can wear it with them, and then it will all be friendships.
Mm.
Because that's why the watches work that way. We all have a watch. That's a friendship watch.
That is true.
Did you want one of these, Professor?
He shakes his head. I've still not really dealt with the last time I drank. On an emotional level.
Because you were silly in front of the Summer Queen.
Yeah, mostly. You never know. You could get completely wasted here, then all of a sudden, boom. You've got to talk to... He just stumbles over his words, trying to find someone equally as important and of acclaim as a Summer Queen, and ends up landing on like Bedwin.
Oh, I can see how that would be concerning.
Look, Yuki didn't like last time Fedwin popped into her dream. She wasn't expecting it. I could imagine how much that would be a little bit concerning.
I wonder if he knocked first.
I would want to knock in a dream.
Thing to do, right?
I would think.
I hear him rolling dice downstairs, by the way. I want you to know that. I hear him rolling dice.
That is not reassuring.
No, I didn't roll dice this time. I actually knocked the arm of my chair into the table.
Oh, okay. I don't believe him. I think this place is really nice. Everything's very clean, and everything is very safe, it seems, and everything is very scheduled. I have this pamphlet here that tells you all the different times of day that they do spa treatments, and this pamphlet has all the different times of day they do a tour, and this pamphlet has all the different times of day that the pirates have a shuttle over there to the sanctuary, they call it, and then this one doesn't have times on it, but it does say enjoy your pirate raid. And there's lots of little tiny print that I haven't been able to read yet.
Indeed.
And this one has a time of day where all the different restaurants have different things that they're doing. Apparently there is something called a line dance. I don't know what that is. And there's another one that's a conga line. I don't know what that is either, but there's a lot of lines involved in these things.
Do they only dance in lines here?
I've only seen those two that have lines, but I'm assuming, because those are the first two, that the other ones must have them. They don't specify, though, so maybe not. There were people dancing last night.
Speaking of which, Jade mentions the conga line. Out from inside of the resort, you see that there is a band of like 4 people. There's like 2 guys with a guitar, 1 guy with a trumpet, another guy with a drum. They come out and they start playing mariachi music, and they say, "Hey, it's time for the 10 o'clock conga line!" And they start kind of like beating on drums and playing music, and they start kind of leading leading some of the patrons around in a conga line around the restaurant. Narco,
Look, it's right on time.
Narco, you're kind of jolted out of your concentration by the sudden blast of loud music coming from outside the patio.
She kind of like slowly leans over to look out the window to see what the ruckus is, and decides she does not want to be involved with that, and is going to hide until this blows over.
Is everyone able to join? Do you all want to join the line of people that are traveling around?
No.
The last time Jade was in a place she really enjoyed, this spell came in handy.
Yeah.
He as soon as he hears like the ruckus, he immediately casts Detect Evil and Good.
Your detect evil and good goes up, and you detect none of those things.
They've learned how to hide themselves. I don't like it.
Well, who's hiding?
What? The pirates?
Hiding.
Well, the pirates are hiding. I wonder if someone's going to jump out of a barrel. I read that in a book once. They jumped out of a barrel and they started singing. Do you think they're singing pirates?
Do pirates sing?
Apparently.
They did when we were on Leviathan.
That is true.
Were they pirates?
Some of them were.
Yeah. Well, who wants to join the line party with me?
You go have fun.
Where's Arby?
I'll join you.
You will?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll join you.
Okay. Jade looks immediately relieved and jumps up to go to take Nuala's hand and take her over to the
Nuala
line.
absolutely wasn't going to go, but nobody else said that they were going to join, so.
Yep. That's friendship right there is what that is.
Where's Arby during all this? And what about like familiars and pets?
Arby's getting shouted, "Shield guy!" And there's another line dance happening just for him.
Absolutely.
Arby comes back with a lei on him. And a bunch of drawings.
I do agree that Arby has somehow acquired like a lei, a big sun hat, a pair of glasses. He has like sunscreen like along both lines, along both sides of his cheeks. A Hawaiian print shirt. Like he somehow acquired the entire tourist getup when no one was looking. But he is still like within a few feet of Nariko, just doing his bodyguard thing as if nothing is different. There's also a lanyard that attaches to like one of those hollowed out coconut drinks with a fruity straw.
Excellent.
You do get a couple of shouts of shield guy as Arby kind of wheels his way through the resort.
Wonderful.
Like, hey, I saw that. That's shield guy. I saw him in the big top.
If charcoal is left unattended when Nuala goes off to dance, Char Char will offer some of his fish.
Oh.
Aww. That's Lens. Watching it. Do we have to roll to see how much fun this conga line is?
I think you should.
Yeah, those of you taking part, why don't you give me a performance check?
Do I need to do mine at disadvantage? Or advantage?
I think advantage. You're drunk. You're having way more fun.
I think advantage, yeah. I think advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely advantage. We're hesitant to join, but once you did, whoo! It's 21 for Jade. She is
Nice.
very good at following very simple directions.
Also 21.
Woo!
Well done, guys.
Nuala is taking that first roll, but the rest of the world is seeing the second one.
Listen, man, the drunk goggles are helping, okay?
Everybody here is drunk, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Jade and Nuala look like they're actually having a blast. This looks like you guys are actually having a lot of fun. A little bit of drinks, a little bit of dancing, some music. It's everyone's kind of like sitting down, is kind of clapping along, smiling, and everyone's just having a good old time.
Now, what do we have to roll to see who hits on Nuala?
Oh, that's a roll
Get
that I
hit
made.
then.
It's so fun.
I wonder if this place staffs professional beach bullies.
You slip me a 20, and I let you punch me. And then your girl thinks that you're very strong. I'm a professional beach bully.
Yeah, so the band plays for about 15 minutes. The conga line wraps around the restaurant a couple of times. There is a round of applause as they finish up, take their bow, and go on back inside.
I think Jade is just uncontrollably giggling as she's holding on to Nuala.
Oh,
This
okay, never mind.
is a lot more fun than I
It
expected.
is fun. I like that. That was quite a bit of fun. It was music, but you're walking.
And
What if we had music that could walk with us all the time? That would be great.
What a bard's for.
I might be able to make a spell for that.
Oh, that would be fun.
What is Dave for?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Just Calliope music.
As you kind of
Bad
say that,
Calliope
Jade,
music.
as you kind of say that, Jade, you see Jeffrey kind of comes over and like kind of tugs like on the edge of your sleeve a little bit, points with his one of his face tentacles to Dave, that's just sitting there playing Calliope music still.
Oh, that's right, Jeffrey. I wonder if we could get Dave to learn new songs. Should we have invited Dave? Jeffrey, do you want to come and join us in our line parties when it comes round again?
He kind of sends a message into your mind. There's a vision of him wearing like the mariachi hat, holding maracas.
Yes, we should get that for you. And she's gonna pick up Jeffrey on her shoulders and go with Nuala to find Jeffrey a hat and maracas.
And they are gone.
He's going back into the crystal the second he comes back.
I think
Good
Jade
luck with that.
honestly takes Jeffrey and Nuala and like goes somewhere. It's like immediately in the crowd's dispersal, and then we're just gone.
We have lost them.
Because it's not fun if we all stay together all the time, right?
Let's split the party.
Hey, if not here where there's pirates to protect us, then where?
Buzz Nuala is seeing no issues.
Excited Jade is also seeing no issues because she's with Nuala.
Oh boy.
And Jeffrey. And David. And Charcoal. And Mara.
Oh my god, it's such a menagerie.
And my hat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Neat.
wait, Joe. I get a third familiar soon.
Dang it.
And then you can cast, what is it? Is it Flock of Familiars?
My gosh.
Oh, I should get that.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is definitely. I mean, as you guys have been my only player group that I've DM'd for, this will be the first time, as you well know, that I'll have a menagerie of pets and familiars to watch over as well.
Well, we did pretty good waiting until now.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was your fault for putting
You did
for
put
putting
pets as prizes.
pets as part of a game we could win.
I mean, otherwise we would have just tried to steal the pigs.
That is
Don't
true.
get us wrong. We would have tried to do that.
I regret nothing.
But you will. Darko better get on making those things.
And with that bit of shenanigans having passed, we're at 11 o'clock, so this feels like a good place to pause until next
Oh my
time.
god. I
We're
can't
getting in plenty of
believe
trouble.
it's been another whole session and we just made it to Summercall.
Well,
And
I'm
had
not
a
sure why
line
you're
in.
shocked.
I'm really not. I'm honestly not shocked at all.
to be fair, you had a mini lore drop in the middle there.
We had a mini lore drop and we had a bunch of like us discussing things with the professor and
Our skill set is fucking around, okay? We've been doing that really well.
been doing a lot of fucking around, not as much finding out.
True, true.
Which means that we're about to.
No!
Do you take a long rest in town?
Oh, we're buzzed.
I mean, partying into the night is a valid option.
You mean it wasn't an option before?
It's always an option.
I'm going to play a drunken monk one of these times, and we're just going to be constant party.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Well, nominations for this evening.
Professor, he's been
Professor
talking a
did
lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Professor did a lot tonight with talking with Jade and getting back into his actual professoring of it all. And just having those moments with everyone.
Taking the time out also to teach Jade some stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Getting back to being professor. Professor time.
Can't
Can't
touch this.
We will.
I also like Naruko for her undying dedication to trying to figure out anything and everything that has anything to do with any kind of mix of magic and machinery.
Yes, that was good too.
Fascination with
Valid.
the
Oh, Ren's obvious throwing in for this place is good because they have appletinis.
Hey, I didn't say they were good. I said the appletinis are good.
Yeah, and immediately going, yeah, we'll stay here for a while. Nuala being worried about Alatar.
Yes, I did see that.
About like what's going to happen when if the pirates get here. Are they going to try to actually take my spell book? And going with Jade to the conga line because nobody else was going to go and being a great best friend.
I like it. I think I am leaning towards Professor Naruko tonight, though.
Sounds good.
Except
Mm-hmm. I will do that. So far, a fun start to the visit at Summercall, with the main
Yeah.
attraction yet to come.
I'm waiting for the shoe to fall.
Always.
Amazing. I'm going to laugh so hard if this town is just a normal ass town and our paranoia is just actual paranoia.
I mean, it could happen.
It could. It probably won't.
Yeah, also true.
The professor is absolutely using Jade's enjoyment of a place as a baseline for how fucked up we're going to get in the fight.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Every time Jade has been excited about something or somewhere, something terrible has happened.
We had to kill 4 people who wear glasses.
You were the ones who started that.
That's true. I was pretty mad.
Yeah.
But I got some glasses out of it.
That doesn't really seem like it better, does it?
Well, I can see better, even though I didn't really need them. And they don't really do anything.
So you lie?
Not lying.
So, what did we learn today?
That if it's scheduled fun, it can't go wrong.
And did we learn that, or did we just decide that?
I did not learn that.
I've learned that Ren even likes apple teenies.
Yeah, that seemed to go well.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, Ren is the de facto one-trick pony.
Why you gotta come at me like that?
Speaking of scheduled fun, I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay, that's fair.
Penis.